Welcome, everybody. Welcome. You are joining Elaine Bartlett at the Purple Portal today. And first thing out of the box is Happy Lions Gateway Day. And I hope you passed the initiation of yesterday's full moon, which is still kind of in effect, of course, today. A bit on the wane, but thank goodness wasn't coupled right in with today's most powerful energy. So we've got a Lion's Gateway today. We've got a cosmic galactic portal activation gateway today. And we've got a year, which is a galactic activation portal. So if you folks aren't sensing large changes either in these past few days that have come upon your awareness, if you haven't, then they're right in front of you. And if you're absolutely closed down and your diet sucks, well, then you cannot experience what's here for each of us. So I can only suggest to you very firmly, keep clearing your nutrition. It is one of the key pieces to this. We've also, as of yesterday, stepped into the cycle of metal, and what that means is autumn has begun energetically. And I know for those of us in South Florida, and the humidity's high, and I think so are tempers, etc., it's like, really? The first day of autumn was yesterday? And even in the Northeast, although somebody did send me a photo of their fireplace that was happily running yesterday, so I think there was a little chill in the air. When metal cycle reaches, we're going to have a lot to talk about that today, but I see there's a caller on the line. Hi there. Hello.
Miss Sydney.
Hello, Miss Sydney. How are you?
Coming in with a roar. Just looking forward to getting some guidance because I really want to change directions in a big way. So
okay, well, all right. The guidance, what I'm really figuring out, and finally what a couple of people have actually validated for me, the answers are not outside of us. So it requires extreme discipline to go within and then trust what you're hearing. Because this Lion's Gate actually, it itself has increased waves of light and actual higher codes of awakened consciousness. They're talk about being beamed up. We are being beamed up with higher consciousness, and it's streaming onto the planet. I think if we could, well, I know we actually have the gift of doing this, but some which way, because there's so much, we're so gooked up with conditioned thinking, and that's pretty much the extent of it. It's our gooked up thinking and conditioning that prevents us from actually seeing these like fingers of light, such as you could see like if you're driving and it's a very hot day and energy is wafting up from the road, or sometimes in the evening you sort of see almost what I call fingers of God being beamed out from either the sun or the moon, whichever. Mm-hmm. That we have that ability to see it at all times. Now, it was truly exacerbated on July 26th when we stepped into this new galactic year. It's doubly extenuated and exacerbated today because of this gateway. And I just find it remarkable that galactically speaking, the gateway is aligned with a portal which of itself is enormous. Wow. So we're receiving this, and a lot of it's actually coming from two sources, Sydney, the sun itself and the sun behind the sun. Now, I've spoken of that sun a little bit. It's something that even very, very few scientists have been able to tap into it, but they know of it. So there is a presence behind the sun. So this increased light itself is causing huge life-altering changes. And these changes are going to unfold one way or another, and as I understand it, for just about everyone. Now, I think about this just about everyone, and then I kind of take a step back and go, yeah, just about everyone, except those who have their head in the sand, their hands over their ears and eyes, and they don't want to know. And that's their privilege. And I've learned to let them be. It's okay, because it's just not the time for them to know. Mm-hmm. And, you know, as I was driving here today, I had an NPR on for a few minutes, and they were, oh my goodness, if they beamed out over their broadcast once, it must have been a half a dozen times, the impending danger with North Korea. Oh. Okay, fine. There's impending danger all around us, and I certainly don't want to make light of that, because I'm sure there's probably some merit to it. And if that should, God forbid, happen, some people are going to have to leave the planet. Mm-hmm. But the rest of us can simply begin making relationship changes. And that means your relationship with number one person on the planet, yourself. It's time we start seeing the God within ourself. It's time we look from there to, obviously, the next person on that chain of life is the mother. Sisters, our siblings that are sisters, actually. This is the feminine ray. Grandmother energy. And start correcting all of these relationships. The odd thing is, the truth is, there's nothing to correct outside ourselves. Mm-hmm. But, so that's step one. Once we start just owning the fact that, yes, I need to do me. Matter of fact, I was speaking with a dear friend actually, she's now down in Florida. You know her, Sydney, by the name of Renee. For years, whenever we speak, I've simply said, geez, Renee, you have to do you. I just wanted to jump through the phone today because she said, gee, Elaine, I know that I just have to do me. And by the time she's put that into play, after many years of really, we resist that because it seems too simple. Her daughter has changed. Her son has changed. The grandbaby's about to be healthier. Her husband has changed because she's doing herself. Oh. And she's dropped the need to do anything else. And it's not in a selfish way.
Right.
And then that triggers career changes, a redirection of life purpose. And life purpose, for those of us that remember that we're not on the path, that to me is old news. You're not on the path. You're never going to be on the path. It's technically impossible. What's not impossible is you are the path. Yeah. And when we embrace that posturing, I am the path, well then how can I be of greater service in life? Where is there a sense of helplessness and hopelessness? And what do I need to do about it? Your health changes. Your home, well, I know in your case this isn't a stretch. Your home may change. Travel opportunities, soul work. Letting go of conditioning. Because it's our conditioning that I can fully identify as that's the sticking point for many people. So with this gate today, everything is up for review, not just in Sydney's life. Sydney's the trigger point for the call, kids. Everything is up for review in every one of your questions, in every one of your questionings about yourself. And the biggest question behind this, when you start reviewing your life, is, does what you're shifting serve your authentic truth? And most people are afraid to look at that, because what is my authentic truth? And that's anything that's authentic is in alignment with your soul growth and your actual sensation of ascension. You're not going to be beamed up. Now, I've said that several times in the past few weeks. The only beaming up is within yourself. And that beaming is beaming into the higher awareness, and then you can see much more clearly the higher order on the planet. So everybody, don't be surprised if something or everything in your life that seems to be in flux right now. Mm-hmm. And ultimately, these changes that we're each going through, myself included, in our own unique way, and that's important for you all to understand. I'll go through changes, and you might be going, oh, I want to go through the changes she went through, or, oh my God, I don't want to go through the changes she went through. But in my unique way, they serve me. And it will allow me to align more fully with my truth. And now I fully get it. Aligning myself allows me to enter, if you will, or not enter, that's not the right word. Align with, maybe that's a better word, with the next consciousness of love and light. Yeah. I can't get any more because I'm already it. I'm already 100% it. My conditioning says, no, you're not. Get over yourself. Who do you think you are? That's my conditioning. And the other part is, oh, Lord, I am not worthy. I can't be that. You're that. It's interesting. Over the weekend, I had a magical opportunity, which I'll share more of once you and I hang up, Sydney. But somewhere in the midst of the experience, a gal became aware that I'm an empath. And so she kind of came right up to me and right in my face, that she actually transgressed a comfort zone where somebody's too close to you. And it's very uncomfortable when somebody does that. So I took a step back, and she was like, tell me something. Whoa, that is not what somebody like me wants to hear at this point. And unfortunately, for myself, it hit a trigger point. And the trigger point was, I really wanted to get into conflict with her because it was that uncomfortable. And I thought, this is a riot. Let me take a look. There's like several tapes running the same time. Wow, I want to punch her in the nose. And the other part of me is saying, back off, because there's nothing happening here, so let it go. But her conflict point in my face was, well, and sorry, I don't want to offend anybody out there, but I found this extraordinarily divisive and not a good idea, especially in a large group of people. Her point of view was, along the lines of, my master is so-and-so, and I serve so-and-so, and I'm not the creator, and so-and-so is, and that's whom I serve. And I'm like, alrighty, now, you've heard me speak of this master because I have great respect for this guy. He walked the earth 2,000 years ago. He is cool. His total message, almost completely, has been bastardized by the likes of that kind of conversation because he was nothing about separateness. And so where do you go with this nonsense, right? So when she's denying the fact that she's the creator,